Hi, and welcome to Astrology for the People. This is for the full moon in Sagittarius on Wednesday, the 3rd of July at 2:20 a.m. So this is an energy forecast. We're going to touch on what the planets are doing, but more so we're going to look at how we can work with these influences to flow with the cosmic tides rather than against them. So welcome, I'll get into that for you now. Hey there! You're getting me in all of my delicious rawness today. My little boy had quite a fever yesterday, and that combined with a few other things. I'm not at my best, but I'm feeling pretty clear. I'm feeling pretty centered. That's one thing that this retrograde does very much have to offer us, this Mercury retrograde, is increased clarity as we review and reflect on the way we are and the way we think and the way we communicate specifically with Mercury and Gemini. So, let me jump in a little bit for you. There's a lot going on at the moment in every sense of the word. There's a little bit of a sense of we're doing a lot, but not that much really seems to be getting done. And there's a coming to terms with the fact that sometimes you need to go backwards in order to go forwards. Like if you've got your car kind of jammed in a space, you need to do some of these ones. Bit of a cha-cha to be able to go forward again. So we're getting reminded that the road to success isn't always straightforward. And understanding that these kind of circumnavigations and detours all have lessons for us. There's been some frustration for people over the last couple of weeks, and a real kind of build-up of nervous tension that's been happening. The analogy that came to me was the archer's bow, which is funny because we've got the full moon in Sagittarius, and the archer, of course, is the symbol for Sag. And so when you're going to cast an arrow, you aim the bow and then you draw back, and there's this increase in tension that takes place. And we're kind of at the point now where we're about to let the string loose. So whatever we're aiming at, there's going to be a lot of energy moving very, very rapidly in that direction over the next few weeks. So a big recommendation that I'm wanting to pass on at the moment is check in with what you're aiming at. Because if that's someone who you care about, who might be triggering you, and so you're pointing at them and saying, you're the reason that I'm feeling all of this tension, then that's going to cause some serious hurt. It's definitely a time where fuses are a little bit short. So yeah, we're really getting invited to look at, with this full moon in Sagittarius, what are our belief systems and how is that contributing to where we're aiming our arrows right now? Are we focused in on what we want to create in our lives? Are we focused in on, what we want to manifest, our future and what we dream of? Or are we kind of swinging the bow around madly in a state of fear and tension? And really just being invited to reflect on that, not judgment. It's very easy to go, I should be this or I should be that. But shoulds don't create change, they just create guilt. But yeah, it's an interesting time. I had to really try and kind of narrow things down a little bit because my videos have been getting very long. But yeah, we've also got the North Node still in Libra. So there's this ongoing theme happening around relationships and the need to be able to, I suppose, cooperate and compromise, but still be really connected to what our own needs are moment by moment. And we're going to have a Venus retrograde, not in the next 2 weeks, but Venus is moving into Leo on the 5th, I think. And so this is going to be a shift. Venus has been in Cancer. And Leo is where the retrograde is going to take place. And so we're going to start seeing the seeds over the next couple of weeks of what we're going to be invited to reflect on when Venus does go retrograde and ask us to examine our relationships and the way we are in a relationship, and to what extent we take responsibility and to what extent we blame. Yeah, so notice any themes that kind of stand out for you over the next couple of weeks around your relationships, because this is the stuff that we're going to be invited to work with. A journal is really great to have handy, whether it's, you know, just taking note of the kind of thoughts that you catch yourself having over the course of the day. It's a really powerful time to be doing that right now. Yeah, it just helps us to kind of make tangible a little bit the things that we notice about ourselves that we're wanting to dig more deeply into, without kind of getting us caught in that trap of overanalyzing everything moment by moment. So there's that going on. We've got Neptune going retrograde. We've got Saturn officially re-entering Scorpio. These are both pretty big deals. When Neptune stations to go retrograde, we're going to have oh my goodness, I'm so tired. Neptune's at the closest point to Earth when she stations. So we have an amplification. Beautiful, thank you. That's what I was looking for. An amplification of the Neptunian themes. So what happens there is we might have a bit of a tendency to want to escape. We might get a bit dreamy. We might, yeah, be a little bit prone to deception or illusions. So just watch out for that over the next bit. Yeah, the line just came back again, like, how clear is your aim? How clear is your aim? And that really is very much the message for the next couple of weeks. Yeah, where do you want this energy to go? But with Saturn re-entering Scorpio, I touched on this last video, this is a little bit of a sense of coming to terms with the limits of our own power. And also an opportunity to just examine, again, our relationship with our sexuality, which is very much governed by Scorpio. And one of the things that came to me when I was reflecting on this was that, you know, there's not a right or a wrong way to be sexual, assuming that no one's getting hurt, obviously, and it's consensual. However, how empowered are our choices within that? And so that's something that we're going to get invited to look at with Saturn re-entering Scorpio, only for a couple of months. And then it will be back into Sagittarius again. Saturn spent 2.5 years in Scorpio and has just recently entered Sagittarius. But we have this retrograde now, so just going to dip toes back in again and take one last look at these themes. And around that, yeah, there's a real opportunity to empower ourselves moving forward. It's like, whatever it is, let it be intentional. Let it be empowered. Let it be, you know, I want this because this serves me in this way, and I'm fully in my integrity in that, and I'm communicating honestly, and, you know, it's fair to all involved. So yeah, oh, I hope I've made some semblance of sense. I really, really wanted to get this to you, even though I frankly don't have it in me this week at all. But yeah, I don't want to leave you guys stranded. I do. In fact, I'm glad that I sat down to share with you today, because it's felt really good to, yeah, just kind of offer that up and drop into this space with you a bit and reflect on some of the things that have been going through my mind as well. Yeah, so I might wrap it up for now. I could go on for hours most of the time. Maybe I should consider doing a longer video for those who are interested. But yeah, don't have a lot of space this week, but I'll be back offering readings and that kind of thing next week as well. So if you're wanting to dig a little bit deeper, I'm more than happy to do that with you. Anything that I speak about in these reports will impact everyone specifically in a slightly different way. Depending on what it's bouncing off in their chart, the natal influences, so where the planets were at your birth, and how that relates to where the planets are now. So yeah, some people have a harder time of it than others. Some of us won't be particularly affected by certain transits because we've already done a lot of work in that area. That's a question that I was asked recently. Why did I really not notice this last transit? And it's like, well, you know, can you tell me a little bit about the work you've done around these themes? It's all, yeah, actually, you know, I've worked a lot with that. You know, there was nothing more there for that person at that time that needed to be brought up. So, yeah, the planets very much reflect what's going on inside of us and what's resolved and what's unresolved. And yeah, so, I just encourage you, when the bow goes loose, make sure you're aiming where you want to be aiming, and yeah, notice what's happening in your relationships, and maybe bust out a journal, do a little bit of writing. It's a powerful time for that. Powerful time to connect with writing with your non-dominant hand. There's an amazing author. What's her name? Hang on, let me check for you. Lucia Cappuccioni, PhD. She wrote The Power of Your Other Hand and also the Wellbeing Journal. I would recommend checking it out. It's really fascinating. She's got some great exercises on basically getting in touch with your unconscious and your subconscious through writing and drawing with your non-dominant hand. So great time for that while Mercury's still in retrograde. If anyone wants to borrow this, I'm more than happy to lend it. You just have to come and pick it up. I'm in Oxley. And yeah, cool. Mwah. Great to see you guys. I feel better having just spoken to you, even though, you know, I'm only technically looking at a camera, but I kind of know you're there. 86 people watched last fortnight, so that was really inspiring. Thank you for wanting to hear what I have to say and sharing the message and stuff. Feel free to subscribe, like, all that kind of thing to get it out to more people. Maybe not this week. No, it's okay. I'm happy to show up like this. I would prefer that to not showing up at all. Yeah, well, so much love, hey, and yeah, I'll see you in a fortnight. Thanks for coming by.